zum rechten Fleck, doch sieh ich dann nach unten weg. Da steht jetzt links. Links. Am rechten Fleck, doch sieh ich dann nach unten weg. Da steht jetzt links. Links.
Up next to George Parros, and off the draw, here they go. They talked about it before the puck was dropped, and obviously they agreed. Parros first tilt as a duck. And Parker, in just his 4th game this season, getting pushed around a little bit. They exchange right hands, and neither one of these big boys wants to go down.
And Parros got the jersey pulled over his head.
And the linesman intervened.
And that's when the linesman jumped in. So a couple of big boys saying, hey, this is a pretty good hockey game. Let's get involved. And the Duck bench up and tapping their sticks for George Parros' first fight.
And here goes the heavyweights, Parker and Parros. We thought this might happen, and here we go. Parros lost his balance, and Parker lets him have it with a left hand, just as Parros was trying to get back up.
Up with George Parros, but the Ducks had a 2-goal lead. This right there, that hit puts George Parros into a position where he now has to address it. Ryan Getzlaf is one of their young stars, and Big Scott Parker hit him. George Parros feels now at this stage he's got to answer to it. There's George calling him out. Scott Parker's more than obliged to answer to it.
Parros threw his glove right at Parker, and Parker threw the glove into the stands, Mark.
Last 3. So he's heating up.
And it's Parker and Parros for the 3rd time. These two get together right off the draw. Parker pushing and shoving. Parros lost his balance last night. He's hanging in there a little better tonight. Got a right hand and dislodges the helmet of Parker. Trying to get his left hand free, and again goes down after a roundhouse right. He never could get the left hand untangled. Parker had a good...
No matter what. We'll get back to that story later on.
Well, you were talking about penalty minutes. Here's a couple of guys that know plenty about it. Scott Parker, whom I don't remember seeing in the first period, and George Parros. Parker, a long-time veteran at this, and the 3rd-year man Parros, and you can tell they both know what they're doing. Getting in close on one another. Parker coming with an uppercut, both trying to go with the right hands. Parros gets one in, and they are not backing down from one another at all. Now Parker changes to the left hand. Parros able to get free for a moment. Parker again switches to the left hand. And despite getting in close on one another, they're not done. Now they'll tell the linesman, okay.
That's good scrap. Both guys landed a couple of shots. Both guys 6'5" tall. And
I always laugh because one of the ones I tell is that Scott Parker was a real character. He's a good guy from what I know, and he was scary as the day is long. He's giant goatee, just like didn't wear a shirt underneath, so all you saw was like chest hair coming out, and he's a big SOB, and he barked a lot. He had a bark as big as his bite, and he'd always, if you punched him, be like, "Oh yeah, that was good. Do that again," or like he'd grunt, but like be like, and I'm like, "Who is this animal? Jesus Christ!" So I would hit him, and he loved it. He just loved it. I think I never really asked him, but you could tell this guy really enjoyed it. And my God, he was one of the first guys that made me realize that rib punching can be effective, because he blasted me in the ribs a whole bunch of times. And I didn't think anything of it until after the game, and then I was sore for about a week. So every time I fought him, I put on a rib pad. I stitched one onto my shoulder pads. But there's a couple funny moments. One, we had a square off in San Jose. He threw his gloves at me, and it kind of pissed me off. I'm like, what are we in fucking minors here? So I took my glove off and chucked it at him, thinking like, fuck you. And he caught the damn thing and threw it in the stands. And I had to start laughing. I had to fight this guy, but I was like, this is too funny. So.